Couple things I failed to mention last time in last time's video that I thought was thermostat is not. It's a remote control for the vent fan, max air fan. You have your AC on top too. I forgot to mention that. If I were to buy this myself, one of the very first things I would do is I'd tear this out completely because I don't really need the storage. I would remake it to where the whole van door opens to that point. I would keep the window because I like the window, but the TV would get remounted over here. The sound system that's up in that drawer right there would get remounted up in there somewhere with rewiring. I'd have to keep the bench section underneath because it's got the water tank and the furnace, basically the small little heater furnace thingy all built in underneath there, and to redo that someplace else because this bench that I'm sitting on right here has a battery, has the fuse box and all the huge amount of batteries in there, so there's no way I could, jury rig the plumbing back to this other side. The underground tanks underneath the RV for wastewater and whatnot are probably on that side too. I haven't looked. So all that would have to remain in place, but it would take away the mattress. I would redo that in metal, and I would try to get rid of some of this if I could get it back to where that van section right there is, so I can have this wide open area like a regular van again. So I would try to get rid of some of this, if at all possible, to squish that tank that's in there over. It looked like there's enough space, just barely, but you'd have to take it all apart to show you, because I could put up a little bit to see what was in there, but it's screwed down. But I would get rid of all that, and I would put me a Kimberly stove right in through here and up and out. See if a wood burning stove, and yes, I know how it voids the warranty and voids the insurance, but like I say, if I had the money to pay for this up front, I would have the money to not have to worry about little things like the warranty and the insurance in terms of long-term use of the vehicle itself. That's what I would do. I'd put a stove there. I'd have the window view when the door's closed, and then when the door's open, I'd have the whole view of the door. And then you just make a screen thing that goes all the way across for bug screen. That partition here is a curtain deal that's up there that clips into that deal and goes across. I would make something fast and easier, kind of more like the door screen there. I would make a door partition there that goes across to cut the cab off at night for my own privacy. Just fast and easy, just slides over and locks in place at night, and then slides back out of your way. During the daytime, that seat swivels, so during the day I would use it as part of the motorhome. And like I say, I'd have the TV over here in this corner where you already have the AC and DC set up for it. Anyway, you just have to run the cable cord, and then your cords up to the sound system that I would put up there. The DVD player, the home theater system thingy that's up in that closet right there, that I would move over here. That's not too much to do some wiring, especially considering all the power and battery is right below this bench. Anyway, so I just run it down that wall and hook it in. That's the only thing that I would do to change this, to be able to convert it to live in it. Then I could make use of that passenger seat as my technically recliner, and when you swivel around and use it. And I like where the kitchen's at in terms of this floor plan for this model, but like I said in the other video, it'd be better and to have a kitchen that you can use inside and outside. But since I don't have it, I would just delete all of this and have the nice big view of the door when you have the door open. Make full use of it, because to me that's kind of stupid to cut half the door off. I can see why they did it for the second bed, but if me just living by myself, I don't need this. I would try and cut this in half and delete all of this to that window, that 1.5 foot portion of it anyway, and try to squeeze the contents of what's in there underneath the bench, which is possible for just that much room inward, so that's out of the way. And then, like I say, I would have a stove here, nice Kimberly wood burning stove, and with a wood stack, and of course you'd have to insulate the wall, and especially the bench underneath, all metal, so that it radiates the heat out to you, and it keeps the wood stove from burning anything along the wall or catching anything else on fire. And you'd have to work around where that fire alarm thing is at, about where the chimney would go up into and out, or else I'd just go right to the side of the wall. It would be faster and easier, depending on how you can run a wood stove, but that's how I would do it. That's the only thing that I would add on to this deal. Then, like I say, delete all that storage, because you don't need it. I don't need it anyway. if I were to, you know, as the only plan to adapt this place that I'm in right now for a motorhome into something that I would want to live in all the time, that's what I would do. I'd get rid of that and do that. I'd keep the table. The leg for the table would get moved over there so that you can move it around and it's out of the way on this side. But or I might leave it there, depending, so you can swing it out of the way when you don't need it. Anyway, just showing you what I would think about as I'm sitting here waiting. I'm kind of waiting for higher winds right now. It doesn't look like it because this section of the Pilot Flying J that I'm in is kind of up in this little pocket. There's like hills that go all the way around it, so it don't look like there's wind right now. But when you get on the interstate, I already saw one semi get rolled over, pushed over by the wind. So I'm just waiting the wind gusts out, and it's supposed to be gusty like that for the next couple hours. I'm in North Platte, Nebraska, just chilling, taking time, you know, 2 hours or so of my, well, it could be my drive time, waiting on the wind. It happens when you go through Nebraska or Wyoming. Like and subscribe, leave comments. We'll catch you on the flip. Peace.